What is going on, you guys? Welcome back into the Takedown on SI YouTube channel. We are back for another premium live event prediction show. This time it is AEW All Out from Toronto this Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Maybe it'll wrap up by the time WrestlePalooza gets on the air, or this is going to be another situation like, did I ever tell you guys what I had to do at Saturday night's main event back when All Out was going, or All In?
No, you were there. No, but go on.
So I'm at the hotel covering everything that's going on for All in London while this is going on and everything like that. I believe that was the show that was going on that same day.
Yes.
And so the show just keeps going. And eventually I have to get my happy ass in my Uber so I can drive to the arena for Saturday night's main event, because I was, I ticketed for it. So I'm like, well, I have to go. And so the opening match is starting for Saturday night's main event. And the main event of All In was just like really getting going between Hangman and Moxley. And it lasted, I think, all the way up through like the Seth Rollins injury. Like it went, I'm sitting there in my chair, watching that match on my phone while the opening contest between Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre is going on. And people are looking at me and they're like, is that show still going on? And I'm like, yeah, and I paid $50 for it. So I am freaking watching this damn thing.
Did anybody else do that? Was anybody else in the crowd like watching both shows, or were they
Not that I noticed. It was definitely just me. And if I didn't have to, write about both shows, I probably wouldn't be doing that. But let's hope we can avoid that this time, because that drained all of my battery and I almost didn't have enough to get an Uber home at the end of that show. So no repeats this time around, please. Let's end this show before 7 o'clock for the love of all wrestling fans everywhere. But as we found out Thursday afternoon, it's going to be Brock and it's going to be Cena opening WrestlePalooza, which was not the case when we did our WrestlePalooza prediction show, which might have changed some predictions. That video is up now. We were under the assumption that Brock and Cena would be main eventing because Joe Test said that would be the main event. So that might have changed some of our predictions, honestly, especially when it comes to that WWE Championship match. You can check out that video. It is up now on our channel after, of course, we get done here, because you want to know what we're going to say about this particular show. Also, don't forget to check out Lyric's interview with Kris Statlander, which dropped earlier this week. Excellent interview, excellent conversation. That is up now. Give us a like, give us a follow, give us a share, give us a subscribe, turn on the notifications so you don't miss any time we put a video out. And I think that's enough bloviating. Let's get into the show, shall we, gentlemen? By the way, Joe Baiamonte, Zack Heydorn joining me here as always. How's that for an extended introduction? And let's start.
I feel really important.
Yes. Well, sometimes I just go off the rails, and I got to pull myself back in.
We love it.
You covered the sound of my child crying.
First match we're going to talk about, Eddie Kingston coming back. He's been out for well over a year. He's had that knee injury that he has been rigorously rehabbing. He's going to be going up against Big Bill. I'm genuinely surprised that they announced Eddie Kingston ahead of time and he wasn't some kind of special surprise for this show or for any kind of episode of Dynamite or Collision or what have you. Literally just Big Bill starts talking about this man out of the blue one day, and then they decide, yeah, we're going to go ahead and announce him and use him to get pay-per-view buys up, ticket sales, whatever it is. Obviously, people are excited that Eddie Kingston's back. Whether you agree with how they decided to go about it or not, he's back. He's on this show. He's going up against Big Bill. Joe, what do you think?
Yeah, I was surprised. Same as you. Like, I feel like when you're going to bring Eddie Kingston back, it needed like a big promo or something from him. To all come out of the blue like that felt very weird. I think he sort of announced it on his Instagram or on his Twitter or something like that. That was how he responded.
Yeah.
So it was very well. If Eddie Kingston's maybe the best talker there is in the business, so you would think there'd be some big fiery promo, even if it's just something he cuts at home and they'd sort of whatever. But yeah, look, my prediction is for this, it's good. I doubt they're bringing him back after over a year away just to lose to Big Bill. No offense to but I just feel like
I mean, if we're going for realism, Big Bill should whoop his ass. No disrespect to Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
He's a brawler. I get it. But straight up one-on-one, I mean, Big Bill's a freaking monster, man. It's going to be interesting to see how they book this one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I think it's an interesting match. It's not what I would have ever predicted for Kingston coming back. I sort of always sort of expected maybe something with the Death Riders or something along those lines. So this is definitely out of the blue. But yeah, I think he'll find a way to win. I'm not sure. Like you say, realism-wise, yeah, Big Bill should kick his ass. But yeah,
probably will. But
then Eddie will, do like a slip on a banana skin, as they say, sort of thing, and Eddie sort of wins it. Whether they build to something more after this, I don't know, but or whether this is just like a one and done, and then Eddie moves on to something bigger. But yeah, Eddie's my pick for this one.
Yeah, I'm going with Eddie as well. Zach?
I'm going with Eddie too. I feel like I'm more confident in this than you guys are. I think Eddie's definitely going to win here. I mean, Big Bill, yes, from a size perspective, should destroy most of the people that he wrestles, but he never actually does. He's kind of a, one of those big men jobber guys. So Eddie's going to win this, and I'm looking forward to seeing him back. I mean, that injury was horrific, and so the fact that he's coming back at all, I think is great. And it's been a while, and so I'm interested to see kind of like what the fan response is. I'm assuming it's going to be very good. It's going to be strong. Is it going to be something that kind of pushes Tony Khan to go, all right, we gotta go with this Eddie Kingston thing for a little bit, or not? Or, is he just going to kind of hover around where he's been? So a lot, I think, to still hash out with Kingston and AEW. But yeah, this to me is a clear Kingston return victory.
At a 6-man tag team match, or trios match, excuse me. Sorry. Trios match.
How dare you?
Got to get my verbiage right based on the company. Trios match here. It is the Hurt Syndicate against Ricochet and the Gates of Agony. Joe, are they going to hurt people, or Ricochet and Gates of Agony going to find a way to pull a victory out here?
Oh, people are getting hurt. People are going to get so hurt in this. Thinking that this is going to be a hurting is going to be put on a few people in this. Yeah, this is Hurt Syndicate written all over it. I think they've just, coming off the tag title loss, I think this is a group you want to keep dominant after. They need to get a win back very quickly after that. You don't want them to sort of go down this path of losing again. I just see this being I don't know if it'll be a dominant victory or not, but I feel like it'll be pretty thorough. A thorough hurting will be put on Ricochet and company, definitely.
I think Ricochet and Gates of Agony need the win more, in all sincerity. Like, let's really get behind Gates of Agony first off and give them like a major push, and not be like just the muscle and fall guys behind Ricochet. I would really like to see them win this matchup. But there was this report that came out from Fightful this week, Zach, that they might be looking at adding some additional members to the Hurt Syndicate. Usually when Sean puts something out like that, he has sniffed something out, and that's his subtle way of saying, hey, shit might be going down this weekend. So I don't know who, I don't know what, I don't know if they're plucking Cedric Alexander or whomever for this. Obviously they had MJF in there for a cup of coffee, and they decided to take him out for whatever reason. I would not be surprised if we get some kind of a addition to the Hurt Syndicate that helps them win this matchup. But the out is right there with MVP competing in this. MVP could easily be the Hurt Syndicate fall guy in this situation, but I'm taking the Hurt Syndicate with somebody coming in to help them out and pick up the win here.
If Hurt Syndicate loses this match, you can bet the MVP is the guy that's taking that fall. But I wish I could offer up another opinion, but this, it screams Hurt Syndicate to me too. I mean, look, I have not been able to put my finger quite yet on just what Tony Khan wants out of Ricochet. I mean, I think he's turned him into this really strong heel, a guy who kind of has found his place as a character, as a heel. He's not just like a bland, high-flying, white meat babyface. He's more than that. And every time they've had that moment with him to level him up, get him a big win, they haven't taken it. And so, I just don't know what to make of that at this point. on the flip side, it's clear that the Hurt Syndicate are a key part of the show every single week. And if you take Sean's report as something to consider and factor in here, that doesn't lead me to believe that they're going to slow down momentum of the Hurt Syndicate at this time. So new member or not, I think they go with Hurt Syndicate here.
Yeah, and look, it's also very important to know, based off of the reports from what we've heard with the Hurt Syndicate, if they don't want to do something, they're not going to do it. Just remember the last pay-per-view, which was an elimination match, and then it wasn't an elimination match, and they didn't want to get eliminated, and then these boys took them out of that match and set up this particular match and left the titles to go to Brodito, who will now be defending those championships. How's that for a segue?
Beautiful. That was very smooth.
Yes, in a 4-way ladder match, the Young Bucks, Jet Speed, and Hechicero and Josh Alexander. Joe, they're not going to take the titles off Brodito this quickly, are they?
Part of me, now the Bucks are rich again. Well, 500 grand, which they spent most of on pyro. I really want them to be like an invoice that they get before this match, where they've gone way over budget and they've got to give all the money back.
Yeah,
that would be great. But I feel like there's part of me thinks, are they going to go with the Bucks now? They've got them. They sort of. I don't want them to. I feel like it will be the wrong call. Great though the Bucks are and whatever, but it would be very quick to take the titles off Brodito, who people have really taken to as well. I think. I don't know. Jet Speed, there's a few variables in this. I'm not even sure. I think I'm going to err towards Brodito, but it's not a confident prediction, I don't think.
Yeah, I think it's a 3-horse race in this one. I got Brodito out in front. I think it's just they just won the titles. I think he's still ride with the hot hand, so I'm going with those guys. Zach, clearly you're going with Josh Alexander and Hechicero on this one.
Oh yeah, you read my mind. No, but I am going to go with the Young Bucks though. I'm taking Young Bucks here. I'm going title change. Here's my rationale. I still don't believe that the titles were even meant to go with Brodito at this point in time. Like I still think I'm still out there like the Zapruder film watching the end of that match for, they messed up somehow for Brodito to win those titles. Now, with that said, and put a pin in that, to me, like the Young Bucks on the line yesterday, they put out there, hey, we're back. There's money. We've got cash. Our music is back. We're on the Young Bucks redemption tour. You put that out there, I think it's reasonable to pay that off with a heelish title win. Plus, when I look for like what comes next for the Young Bucks, I don't know how long Cope and Christian have together as a tag team. I mean, who knows how long the nostalgia is going to last on that. I think it'd be very compelling for once, FTR and Christian and Copeland is done, you've got a Young Bucks and Christian and Copeland feud right there for you if you want. And it can be over the tag team title since there isn't that personal issue with them right now. So I think I love Brodito. I think they've really, really shown something as a tag team. But to me, it's just like I think Young Bucks need those belts right now. So title change.
Look, I'm flat out stunned that the Cope and Christian FTR match is not for the AEW Tag Team Championships. I thought FTR was winning those belts.
Yeah.
In that trios match, whatever you want to call it. Seriously, I thought they had those won, and then when Brodito won them, I'm sitting there, I'm like, what?
They messed up, right? Yes.
Like, what? This doesn't make sense. What? I'm still doing it. So, I wouldn't. You almost got me on board with that one, Zach. But I'm gonna stick with Brodito. I'm gonna stick.
Fine.
Brodito. I love that Riho's back. She's not beating Mercedes Moné.
No.
This is going to be a very, very good match, but there's my analysis. I don't see Riho being the one taking the TBS championship off the CEO, Joe.
No, yeah, agreed. I really like to offer some really in-depth analysis as to why I arrived at that, but it's just not going to happen. It's an excuse to have a very good match and get Mercedes, like, that little bit further on into the reign. It's
Sure.
not one that's. There's no way that you take the title off her in this match. It would make zero sense.
Yeah, this would be the most shocking upset of the entire card, I think, Zach.
I'm not the person that typically goes, I don't care who wins. I just want to see a good match. And in this case, like, Mercedes Moné has me bought in at this point in watching Mercedes Moné matches on pay-per-view. You know that she's not going to lose this match. She's probably going to win with some kind of roll-up like she's won the last whole bunch of title defenses. But her matches are just state-of-the-art matches.
Yeah,
right
she's
now.
on a roll. She's on a heater.
She's on a roll. So I think Rio is a really interesting opponent when you think about this match from that perspective. But the outcome, it's completely set. I mean, this is Moné all the way.
This one is very intriguing. The AEW Unified Championship three-way: Kinoshite Takeshita, Kazuchika Okada, Mascara Dorada. I think it's a two-horse race, personally. No, where are you leaning with this one? Okada's had that title for a very, very long time. I think he's the longest reigning champion in AEW history.
Yeah. And I think it's been good that this sort of, like, following the Omega match, he's sort of been, like, built back up. Because I feel like for a while he was sort of this comedy sort of, which felt surreal after seeing him in New Japan just be like the boss over there for so long. I say he retains here. It's not a confident prediction, but I think he's going to retain. I feel like when he loses that title, it's going to be in a one-on-one. I feel like they're going to go with it being a bit of a grander situation, and it's, and it maybe like a main event of a really hyped up Dynamite or something like that. I think he retains here barely, and it builds to a one-on-one down the line with I forgot, Konosuke. I think that's going to be the one where it's like that's the way they go with it. But for now, I think Okada's keeping that belt.
Yeah, I think Takeshita is going to take it off of him, just not here.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he either steals the win, steals the offense. Takeshita, maybe he hits Raging Fire, excuse me, and he gets tossed out of the ring, picks him up, Rainmaker, pins him, keeps the title, something like that. I don't see Okada or Takeshita taking the loss here.
Dorada's in this match for a reason.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean that I don't mean that dismissively or anything, but it's
marry me gently, brother. That's why he's here. That's why he's here. He's taking the 3 count. I got Okada retaining, Zach.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, and the main reason is they're building towards a Okada Takeshita match. I mean, we saw it this weekend Dynamite. The two of them had to be separated by Don Callis, big stare off, and they almost came to blows, but they didn't because of Don Callis. Like, they are planting the seeds there for a major singles match. And look, you don't beat Okada for the title in a triple threat like this. That's got to be something that's straight up when he loses it. So I think Okada wins. I think he pins Dorada, and I think it could be a pretty good match though too.
This is the one I'm honestly looking forward to the most. This is the one that they have been building. Look, it's a literal year in the making on this one. It is Jon Moxley, Darby Allin in a coffin match. Darby does not typically lose these kinds of matches, but Jon Moxley is, as we know, just a different cat there, Joe. There's a lot of different variables at play on this one. You got the Death Riders who could get involved. They have a lot of enemies themselves. Maybe we see Sting and his new glorious goatee appear on in Toronto. Is there a signing that weekend?
I don't care. As long as we get the Stinger's goatee, that's all I'm bothered about.
Yeah. Daniel Garcia obviously could get involved here. Marina Shafir, Wheeler Yuta. There's a lot that could go down in this one. How do you see it playing out?
The Garcia involvement, I think, is going to him now becoming part of the Death Riders. I think they've sort of heated them back up. They've become more interesting. Everyone sort of was really down on the Death Riders up until the Hangman Page feud, and ever since then, Moxley's lost. He lost the title, lost the rematch. They lost the cage match in London. So the Death Riders, I think, as a group, as a collective, they need a big win. They need to sort of get back on track. And I think bringing Garcia on board is the thing that's sort of going to get them there. So I see him being involved in the finish here. I think it's going to be like Darby's going to have it a very, very, very violent match. I think he's going to get wrapped up, and then Garcia's going to sort of get the big moment and help Moxley win. And it builds to something else down the line where, Darby eventually gets the win back. And I'm guessing there's a point with Darby where it's going to be the world title coronation. But I think for this moment in time, they're going to have him lose this one. It feels like, I know people want him to win against Moxley after it's been built up for a year, but I think he loses this one, then wins an even more violent rematch in a couple of months.
Moxley's been losing a lot lately.
Yeah.
And just for that, I don't see him losing this one. He probably should. This is probably the match that he should lose, considering everything that the Death Riders have done to this poor man. But I think Darby's going to end up in a body bag, and then he's going to end up in a coffin. Zach, I'm going with Moxley.
I am too. I wish I could add more analysis, but I'm right in line with you guys on this. It's like, it's not so much I don't think Darby should win. It's just, is Mox going to really lose again? And it doesn't seem like Moxley's taking time off. It doesn't seem like the Death Riders are getting like a big time break as far as being involved in TV on a week-to-week basis. Like, they still are a very prominent part of the show. Danny Garcia just joined them. Like, you kind of like, if you want them to be something viable, incredible, you got to make sure that he keeps getting those wins, especially Jon Moxley. With Wheeler Yuta and Claudio, you can kind of mess around a little bit, but Mox, like, he's got to have like end boss vibes to him. So I don't know that this is the end of the Moxley Darby Allin feud, but I think that you'll see in this match, and I think the story of the match is going to come out at the end being Moxley is going to finally be the guy that beats Darby at this coffin match game. And so Darby has to go another twisted layer, even deeper than that, at some point down the road to get the win back.
We got another stipulation match on this card. And can I just say I'm mad about this stipulation real quick? It's Mark Briscoe. It's MJF. It's a TNT match, a tables and tax match. Now, Mark Briscoe rattled his brain to come up with a billion different stipulations, and this is the one that he ultimately landed on. But I'm this message is for Tony Khan. An Inferno match was right there. It was right there. MJF literally tried to set this man on fire. Why would that not be the first stipulation that Mark Briscoe chooses? Now, would they want to do an Inferno match? Probably not. But I was still disappointed.
They're not a great case study of Inferno matches out there.
Look, man, I thought it was absolute cinema when Randy Orton burned the Fiend to a crisp. Okay, I know I'm in the minority on that one.
Believable too.
This Inferno matches are my guilty pleasure match. I love them for some reason. I love the aesthetics of them with the fire all the way around the ring, and you just see the heat radiating through the camera. Like, I love it. It's a great visual.
I love in the first one when they would slam, like do like a body slam, and that would cause the flames to shoot.
Yes. Now you get me.
I mean, an MVP once had his arse set on fire in one, didn't he? That was Kane set him on fire. I think
he did. Yes, he did.
Right.
I think Kane going to Inferno match with Kane and lose.
Yeah, exactly.
But the whole point with Kane was the outfit could get MVP.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it was right there. They decided to go with an uninspired tables and tax. The match is still going to be brutal. It's still going to be awesome. I'm picking Mark Briscoe because MJF has a busy schedule, so they're going to write him off TV for a little bit. Joe, what do you think?
You just took my. That was exactly when you look at MVPs, and again as well, I feel like a lot of Hollywood studios we've had something to say about MVP being put in a match where he might get not MVP, MJF.
MJF. Did I say MVP too? I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, MJF, I think a lot of Hollywood studios would have had an issue with him potentially being set on fire. Not that getting slammed into tax and tables is much better, but
get better writers and put it into the script. Damn.
But yeah, I think with his schedule, when you look at it, he's probably due some time off. He's not going to be around on TV very much. Whereas with Mark Briscoe, I think Mark Briscoe sort of feels to me the guy who I thought Eddie Kingston was going to be. I thought, I always had this expectation that Eddie Kingston was going to go and become AEW champion. I think they made him the Triple Crown, and that was sort of the compromise there. And I think Mark Briscoe now is on that path where he's going to have this like huge fairy tale AEW world title victory at some point. I don't know when it's going to come, and I feel like this is a major step on the road to that. I feel you've got the chance now with MJF going to be out for a while probably, or not around as much, so you can have him get beat here and it doesn't really matter. It's not derailing him. He's still got that contract to use at some point. And Mark Briscoe, again, he's one of those guys that you feel like he needs the win. Like he needs, I think he needs this a lot more than MJF as well. So I'm going to go with Mark Briscoe here.
I love Mark Briscoe as much as the next guy and you guys. I think that that he is a level below MJF considerably on this. And to me, like the level up for him is that he's in a pay-per-view match with MJF, and that's a good place to be for anybody. I think MJF gets the W here. I think he cheats, he wins, and there's some crazy tack table spot. Maybe that you can even, if you're going to write him off, I think that you can still do that. After the match is over, have Mark Briscoe get some comeuppance with some big, violent deal after he's already lost the match. I don't think MJF is, dude, that guy, he does not lose very many matches. Like when you look at his run in AEW, he doesn't lose very much. And that, is part of the reason why he's gotten to be such a strong star as he is. So I think he hangs on for the win here.
Yeah, he's also a workhorse too. So like, he still was around and at least cutting vignettes and on TV and stuff like that while he was doing his Happy Gilmore 2 commitments. So he could I forget which movie he's going to be doing now, but he could potentially still be around as well. But I mean, damn, dude, the guy just got married. Like,
he should take a break. Yeah,
take a little bit of time off, man. I think you've earned it. This one is simple for me. It's Cope. It's Christian. It's Canada. They win. They beat. I'm not trying to downplay this match, but I'm genuinely looking forward to it. This Cope and Christian reunion is something I have waited over a decade for. I'm ecstatic that this match is going down. Again, I thought it was going to be for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. It doesn't matter that it's not. It's going to be a very, very good match. But I think Cope and Christian just have Canadian invincibility in this one, Joe, and they're going to walk away the winners. And Dax may have to retire. He put that out on social media. He's going to walk away if he loses this match. This might be Dax Harwood's final match in AEW.
Well, what a way to go out! Like I think unless Tony Khan is bringing in like Vince McMahon circa 2018 to book this particular match, there's no way Cope and Christian are getting beat in Toronto. Like Vince used to beat people in their hometowns all the time. Right. Tony Khan is not that guy. He's booking this straightforward. Like they're winning the match. It's the big fairy tale moment for them. Yeah, I mean, what else can you say? I think it'll be a great match. I would hope that it main events. Whether it does or not, I don't know. We discussed that before we came on air, whether it's going to main event or not, and go up against Lesnar Cena on the other show. I feel like that'd be a really interesting dynamic to see which way people went. But yeah, this is Cope and Christian all over it.
Are you going to be different again here, Zach?
I'm not. I'm going to fall in line. I got the text from Rick that said, "Hey, don't fall out of the line here. You stick." No, Cope and Christian. Yeah, I mean, come on. This is a reunion. My biggest knock on this whole thing is that we haven't been able to lean into the nostalgia of Cope and Christian enough yet. So right. I want a feel-good win here for them in their hometown. Hug it out. Like, I want all the feel.
Reunion, right?
With 5-second poses, the everything.
5-second poses, like just go full nostalgia on this. And plus, as I said earlier, I think there's a good chance the Young Bucks win those tag titles, and you want some challengers for them, and a win here for Edge and Christian, or Cope and Christian, that would certainly put them in line for that kayfabe wise.
The AEW Women's Championship is going to be on the line in a fatal 4-way. Timeless Toni Storm against Jamie Hayter, Kris Statlander, and Thekla. Now, I have gone on the record on the Fightful Collision post show saying that I do believe Jamie Hayter will be the one to beat Timeless Toni Storm for the AEW Women's Championship. I just don't think it's going to be here. I think this is another situation like the United Championship match that with Kazuchika Okada. I think he will lose to Takeshita at some point. It's just not going to be on this show. Like I just don't see a whole lot of major headlines of title changes and this, that, and the other thing coming out of this show. I think we might see the culmination of the Wheeler Yuta, Kris Statlander, Marina Shafir angle in this matchup, but I feel like Jamie Hayter and Thekla are going to take themselves out of this match. It's going to come down to Stat and Storm, and the Death Rider is going to offer Kris Statlander help. And she is finally going to decide, no, she wants to stand on her own. She wants to win it her own way. And that will open up the door for Toni Storm to retain the championship. I'm taking Timeless Toni because she's just timeless. It just keeps on going. The train keeps rolling. She's going to retain her championship, Joe.
Yeah, you don't take the title. You don't end this Toni Storm reign in a fatal 4-way match. Never. I think, again, Jamie Hayter is going to be the one that takes that title off her. I think this is similar to the sort of the Mercedes defense in terms of, you're going to get a good match. This is a match where it's another successful defense, another month added to the reign, and it's not disparaging towards anyone involved. You just know it's going to be a great match, and that's going to be it. The crowd are going to be into it. It's going to be a great spectacle. But yeah, this is sort of, like you said, there's other angles at play here which sort of need to play out. You can do that, and it ties into the storyline of the match very well, and then eventually move on to that Hayter title victory somewhere down the line.
I did think that there was a chance, Zach, and this is not based off of any reports, regarding her situation, because there really haven't been any reports regarding her situation. But I thought we might see Shayna Baszler on this show, just as a hunch, and then Shayna showed up on Tuesday in NXT, and I'm just like, well, now I don't know what the hell to think. Who knows what's going on with her? So maybe that ain't happening. But I do think it would make a ton of sense for the Statlander, Marina Shafir, Wheeler Yuta angle to finish up on this show. Do you see her maybe going the other direction, turning to the dark side and winning the championship?
No, definitely not that. Definitely not that. I mean, I think you want to wrap it up here. It's been going on a long time in the background of just stuff the Death Riders are doing, stuff that Statlander's doing. I think you want to, click go on this at some point here, whichever way it's going to go. And you just don't take the belt off Toni Storm here. Look, she is arguably the most overact that AEW has, homegrown, and that thing still has a ton of momentum behind it. You feed Toni Storm until there's reason not to. And so I think Jamie Hayter's a great person to eventually take the title off of her. But again, wait on that. Build up that anticipation. I think you could put Jamie Hayter in, one or two other feuds before she comes back to Toni Storm and still do that title change. But, Toni Storm's so popular right now and so good and so effective for their show on a weekly basis. Like, I am not messing with that. I'm going with Toni Storm here.
Yeah, I'm also hopeful that they don't do another full-on Statlander heel turn, because my goodness, at that point we would be approaching Big Show territory. So let's just let her chill with one thing for a minute and keep it going.
Yep,
keep it going. The AEW World Championship is going to be on the line. Hangman Adam Page against Kyle Fletcher. Now, the Don Callis family has been barred from ringside for this one. If they do get involved, Kyle Fletcher will be stripped of the TNT title. So it looks like we are going to get a clean finish here. This match is going to be off the charts. I think Kyle Fletcher has done a spectacular job of, being given an opportunity to be thrust into the main event spotlight. And he has, by all accounts, looked like he belongs there. This is somebody who I think is, way beyond his years. I'm surprised he is this good at 26 years old. And it's going to be incredible to see where he's at when he's 36 and what he's accomplished. Personally, I hate that this match is happening right now, because he just won the TNT championship. And it is a pet peeve of mine for people to win titles and then immediately go off and try to win a separate one. It is the same problem I had with the first 2.5 months of Lyra Valkyria's Intercontinental title reign, where she was put in the Royal Rumble to try to win the Women's World Championship, and then was trying to win the tag team titles. Didn't even defend her own championship at WrestleMania. She was challenging for another one. I hate when they do that crap. They're doing it here with Kyle Fletcher. I don't think he should be losing a match at this point. But he's going to lose this match, and they're not taking the title off of Hangman Adam Page. He's going to beat Kyle Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher's going to have to take the loss clean here. I don't think it's going to hurt him ultimately. It's just a personal pet peeve of mine that this is happening right now. I don't think it's going to stop my enjoyment of the match, though, Joe.
No, not at all. This is going to be insane, and I think it's one of those situations where maybe they want Hangman to sort of have like a 1 month, 2 month challenger or something, and Fletcher's one of these people who they obviously see so much potential in for like the next 5 to 10 years. And it's a case of, well, let's just see how well he applies himself in a world title match. We're going to put him on the main event of a major pay-per-view. We're going to see how he does. We're going to see how well he does. And I think that's going to inform Tony Khan's booking of Fletcher in the next sort of year or two. Like, how quickly can we get him back to that world title picture where it's more realistic that he does win and become the champion? Like, are we going to see him be champion by the time he's 27, or is it going to be more like by the time he's 30? It's going to be that sort of... this is like a test for him, essentially. And already we've seen on the episodes of Dynamite leading up to this show, he's passing that test with flying colours. This is just the last little bit of it now where him and Hangman, I feel like, not to jinx anything, this has got like, for this to be a bad match, I feel is borderline impossible, which I know is, I've ruined it now, and then they're going to go out and have a stinker.
I mean, crazier stuff has happened. Sometimes people just don't mesh well, but I don't see that being the case.
Yeah, and the form these two guys are in as well. When you look at their recent matches over the last few months or the last sort of year, anyone they've been put in front of, they've just gone out and had classics with. So I feel like putting the two together, yeah, this is going to be a sensational match. It does, like I said, doesn't hurt Fletcher that he's going to lose clean because he's losing to the world champion who everybody loves. And all it'll do is serve to see where Fletcher is in terms of like how quickly they can make him a bona fide main event on a regular basis.
Zach, me and Joe here have the exact same lineup, all 10 matches. You are the only one who has been different. Are you going to have the gall to do it again?
I don't have the stones to pick them here. The deal is with this, for me, is as you guys have mentioned, first and foremost. I mean, this is going to be a hell of a match. I mean, this is like, bread and butter AEW stuff right here. Like, this is a top-notch world title match, and it's with the two guys who can have amazing in-ring matches, and I think that's exactly what they're going to have. More importantly, though, in terms of just the star power and stuff, Kyle Fletcher has stepped up, I think, already in the build to this. Like, he hasn't even had the match yet, because I mean, I feel like that is like the easy part. I think people know he can have a great match with Adam Page, but can he come across? Can he present as a world title level main event challenger? That to me was a hurdle that I wanted to see him overcome, and he did that. I mean, he held his own three times with promo segments. Last night on Dynamite, he was like cold and calculated, heelish, got a heel reaction. Wasn't trying too hard to be like the cool heel that's like looking to get kind of cheered. Like, he was straight up ready to get some heat for Adam Page. And I think they're going to have good chemistry because of that. It's not his time to win the world title. That'll come. But I think you've seen, even when he loses this match on Saturday, you've seen an elevation of Kyle Fletcher.
I can't wait to watch this match on my phone. As Brock Lesnar and John Cena are squaring up at the start of WrestlePalooza. It's going to be a hell of a Saturday. We'll have you covered on the takedown on SI. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and again, turn on those notifications so you know when we drop our videos. I don't know when Zach and I are going to get a discussions up this weekend because I have a very busy weekend with travel and everything like that. We'll get something out next week to recap this weekend for sure. So keep your eye out for that as well. For Joe, for Zach, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Enjoy everything this weekend. We'll talk at you again soon.